ごめんね素直じゃなくて夢の中なら言える思考回路はショート寸前今すぐ会いたいよ泣きたくなるよなムーンライト電話もできないみんなだって純情のしようハートは万華鏡月の光に導かれ何度も巡り合う星座の瞬き数え占う恋の行方同じ国に生まれたのミラクルロマンス信じているのミラクルロマンス
Well, welcome back to podcast number 5.
Hi guys, welcome back.
The day of Aroha. If you have no idea what I'm meaning, this is in February. That means Valentine's Day is coming up. And Aroha means love in Māori, so there you go.
Oh, alright.
So, happy Valentine's Day to all you couples and singles alike.
Happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
But,
From Katie and HellenJane.
but sadly, we're not doing a Valentine's special since we've gone back to our original format. So,
Yeah.
sorry guys.
After Christmas and New Year, we could do an actual normal episode. So. But like we said last time, if you want something kind of appropriately love-themed, we invite you to go back and listen to episode 2 of Moonie Thoughts because we talked all about Sailor Venus and her debut manga, Sailor V.
And also, just to cut time short, well, with this recording, there is no updates.
Yep. We managed to pretty much get everything last time, so we don't have to correct ourselves.
Yeah. And about the Sailor Jupiter, it popped up just as I was editing, so that was a huge bonus.
So, we can dive right in to Sailor Moon Crystal, episodes number 12 and 13. Which are intense. They are the second to last episodes for the conclusion of the first arc, the Dark Kingdom arc.
And there was a lot of information to note down, so we ended up narrowing it down to shorter points.
Yeah, we're mostly just going to cover, instead of actually talking through the plot of each episode, we're only going to highlight the differences between the manga story and the Sailor Moon Crystal story, and any differences between the original anime and Sailor Moon Crystal, which there are a lot of. So we'll just kind of glance over those.
Alright.
The first thing I noticed was it was a little manga-only scene that I thought was cute, that they didn't put in the anime, that they didn't really need to because it wasn't necessary. Right before they start their big battle with Tuxedo Shaman and Queen Beryl, Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Mercury teleport Motoki back out into the arcade so that he's safe, and he kind of freaks out because he's like, what just happened? And I thought it was cute.
And of course, in the Crystal version, nothing really happens, and Motoki is basically still lying at Luna Base under the arcade.
Yeah, I guess it can be assumed that he got out after Mercury made her hyperspatial sphere generate, which is pretty cool. It's the only instance of that ability, I believe, but it's the only time they really needed it. But yeah, I guess in Crystal, he's just kind of there until he wanders out by himself. Another difference between the manga and Crystal was in Crystal, Beryl's hair attack trapped all of the Senshi instead of just Sailor Moon. And that's what got Sailor Venus to summon the sword. And in the manga, Venus just summoned the sword, cut Sailor Moon out of Beryl's hair, and then killed Beryl straight up. Venus did it. That was all it took. Instead of Usagi having to destroy the necklace to sever her connection with Natalia.
And what I noticed as well, after when the necklace got destroyed, Beryl died, and I'm not sure if it's like the nearly exact same scene in the manga or not. I need to double check, but in her last moments, it showed her basically spying on the couple Princess Serenity and Endymion.
Yes, that was in the manga as well. You would learn that she didn't just take Endymion to make Sailor Moon unhappy and to be a puppet. She had always had an infatuation with him.
It's kind of sad that during that period that Princess Serenity, make sure I get the right name, was up in the moon, she could have gone to Endymion and confessed her love. Then leave up to fate if he rejects her or embraces her. If it was an embrace, it would be a love triangle. If not, that would have been the cause for Natalia and also for her revenge against the Moon Kingdom. But that didn't happen.
Well, I can't really blame her. It was pretty obvious who Endymion was going to choose, even if she had confessed.
But it was easier for her to get it off her shoulders.
Yeah.
But, of course, as a story, we can't argue with the actual story. Even though there's some plot holes that what if she did, or what if she hasn't done. At the end of the day, we come...
for a pretty different story if she'd confessed to Endymion and he said, oh, well, okay, let me ditch the princess.
Then probably Natalia will go straight to the Moon Kingdom than the Earth Kingdom.
Yeah, maybe Serenity would have embraced Natalia to get revenge on Beryl.
Yeah.
That would have been weird.
And
someone write that AU. Let us know.
Open suggestion for fanfiction. Go ahead.
There you go.
Yeah.
In the manga, when Tuxedo Kamen grabs the crystal and runs back to the Dark Kingdom, he actually drags Sailor Venus with him as well, since she has the sword and she just killed Beryl. So she is there, passed out, because she used all of her energy in the Dark Kingdom, when Tuxedo Kamen and Sailor Moon have their confrontation, which I thought was interesting because it kind of sped things up, especially considering that it was only in Crystal that the Senshi have to face the generals before they can reach Tuxedo Kamen and Sailor Moon.
And
so, I'll go for it.
Yeah. What I really noticed is, after all this time, as we were trying to keep on saying over and over again, they should be dead by now. No matter what the manga said, at a particular point, a general dies, but they keep on being keep being saved by Beryl. But final battle though, that was really intense between the generals and the Sailor Senshi.
I got mad once it happened because they finally actually get their memories back and remember it shows them they remember, oh yes, we were servants under Endymion, we were supposed to protect our master, but then it shows they're also remembering the Senshi, and then bam, they die. That's it. The end. It's like, why? Why did you build up this whole thing just to have them immediately die? What was the point of that aside from to make me sad?
It's anticlimactic. But
It was rude.
yeah, but the thing afterwards, so when the girls cried, their voices remained and encouraged them.
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah, and yeah,
that at least.
Yeah, for me, I was expecting for the generals to die before the series ended, but
I knew they were going to die. I had a secret wish that they were going to just disregard the manga entirely and the generals would live and be happy with the Senshi forever, but I knew that wasn't actually going to happen.
But encouraging the girls, that got me off guard. Caught me.
Yeah. That's sort of, the last...
One of the last wishes, anyway.
Yeah. The last... Oh, what's the word? The last sign that they gave us that the generals had finally reconnected with who they were before Natalia interfered with their lives. And that they did remember the Senshi.
But how they portrayed... I'm remembering the scene now that... somehow when the Senshis follow the princess, they actually met. And in the manga, that didn't really happen. I didn't see any connection related to that.
So yeah, and actually, because when I thought it was cool when the generals were remembering who they were and they were remembering their titles, like, Kunzite was the Knight of Purity and Affection, and Nephrite was the Knight of Intelligence. And they're saying, and the Senshi are telling this, and they're reminding them of it. And they say, how do you know that? How do you know that's what our names actually represent? And the Senshi say, because you told us. And so it's like, oh, well, I didn't need my heart. Just take it.
Yeah. Was those names, the meanings of the names was in the manga as well?
Actually, no, that was not. It doesn't mention anything about the meanings behind their names, and you really don't get nearly as much of a glimpse into their past as you did, even as meager as it was in Sailor Moon Crystal. There are very few, 1 or 2 panel scenes of the kings as they were on Earth. But I like it. I'll have to look it up, but I believe that those, intelligence and purity and affection are actually characteristics that are those stones are believed to bestow upon whoever carries them, which would be appropriate. Yeah. I'll have to look it up, but I believe that's what that's all about.
Look like we have had a bit of crystal teaching then.
Yes. Appropriately enough, in Sailor Moon Crystal, you learn about crystals. But once the Senshi do make their way into the main room where Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Kamen are fighting, and Natalia has revealed herself, in the manga, Sailor Venus gets a special attack that she only uses that once, Rolling Heart Vibration, which doesn't do anything because Natalia just absorbs it, but it was there. It was worth noting. And also a change that they made in Crystal, which I think is for the better. Once Natalia returns to the surface after Usagi once again tries to off herself, she's got to stop doing that. It doesn't end well. In the manga, they just go up to the surface with her, whereas in Crystal, they go up to the surface with her. Whereas in the manga, they go back to the Luna base, talk to Artemis and Luna for like 10 seconds, and then go back to D Point, which I thought was kind of pointless. I like how the anime did it better, where they just immediately follow her up.
Yeah, and just to point it out, this is after when Usagi, quote, murdered Tuxedo Mask, then, quote, committed suicide again. Then a few seconds later, in the span of, if you watch 12 and 13 back to back, it'll be about, I don't know, about around 5-10 minutes or seconds before the shot.
Right after she slashes Tuxedo Kamen and they crash into each other, she tries to stab herself. Yeah. So it's immediately after that, and so it never ends well. She's got to figure out a different strategy.
Yeah. At least the crystal did protect both of them. But it finally revealed to what it was promoted in the first promo image, and how it was following after in the manga, in the 90s animated later, and all that kind of stuff. So
that's what. At this point, once again, in the original anime, things happened a lot differently. Like the Senshi, instead of all sacrificing their life force to send it to Sailor Moon so she could escape Metalia's body, they all die individually on the way to D Point fighting some powerful Yoma. And they all kind of rejoin Sailor Moon right as she's fighting Metalia and using the wand, which doesn't transform into a staff in the original anime. And in the anime, Metalia sort of takes on this human form that looks kind of like Beryl. And D Point looks different, and it's, once again, I understand why they had to make it different than the manga, because first off, they wanted to stretch it out, and they wanted to just retell the story, but it's definitely really different. And if you haven't seen the first anime, I would recommend at least looking through those episodes to see how different it is.
And when you get up to the part when each one individually died, they're not just giving up their life force. They also actually dies physically. Yeah, they aren't willfully giving up their life force. They're being killed by these Yoma. And they were distract them while Sailor Moon goes on. And they were willing to lay their life down for Usagi to continue on to D Point. I remember the last one that was Usagi was Rei.
Yeah.
And of course, in the 90s manga, 90s anime, or classic anime, they didn't get along that well. So how ironic for those two being the last two standing before D Point. And I remember clearly Rei saying to Usagi, well, it's time for me to go. She knew that she won't be coming back.
She knew exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I was going to say, is I think that moment is one of the moments that proves to me that Rei might be the one who cares the most out of all of the Senshi about not just, protecting the princess and carrying out their duty, but who cares about Usagi as a person. Because to me, that moment really proves how much not only does she love and care about Usagi and want her to continue and do what she has to do, but she knows Usagi enough to know what she has to say and what she has to do to get Usagi to keep going.
It's like the right words at the right time at the right place. And
I feel very strongly that a lot of people misunderstand Usagi and Rei's relationship and think that they don't like each other and they just, they're teamed up because they have to. But I really think that Rei and Usagi care very deeply about each other.
And if you haven't noticed it by now, that same caring has been followed through the first arc of Crystal. And if you haven't seen that, Go rewatch the whole first arc again. Especially from Act 3.
Yeah.
That's when it started. That's when Usagi stood up for Ray. Then later on, Ray did the exact same thing. And the rest was history.
Especially considering in Sailor Moon Crystal, they have really downplayed the whole Ray kind of scolding Usagi for being childish and them bickering all the time. The first anime really played it up and made them just butt heads all the time. Whereas in this, they aren't even bickering as much as they did in the manga. They're really, not... That spark to their relationship hasn't been shown very much in Crystal. And I kind of miss it.
I can see in the future that we might have jinxed it again.
Yes, we did. The last time we mentioned that, we did get a little glimpse of it. But, alright, overall, what is your reaction to Sailor Moon Crystal's treatment of this ending of the arc? How do you think they're doing?
I'm actually quite mixed of it.
Really?
Yeah. Because we already talked about it before with the build up with funerals and them just dying like that, anticlimactic, and I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
But on this Senshi side, like, even though they like put kind of like a sugar coating on top of it, but they're stretching it out, making each battle more intense. Oh, tense. Yeah. I am so sorry. Yeah, by the time recording, it's still summer over here, and man, it's still hot. Just to put it out. Anyway, it's like building up to this final scene that, by the looks of it, Yusaki's going to seal Metalia away. I do not know how she's going to do it. If she's going to destroy Metalia for good, or like what the early anime did, or they're going to follow what the manga said and seal her up for eternity. I won't know until I see it.
Well, my reaction so far is, I agree, like we said earlier, I think the build-up the momentum they had going with the generals and the big reveal and finally putting something out there that's more than just the little hints we got in the manga, I was disappointed with how it ended, how it was abrupt and anticlimactic, and it could have been a lot more than it was. And, it probably would have made me even sadder if they had gone deeper with it, but that would have been okay, because I really wanted more out of that than what there ended up being. But in terms of the scenes of the battle with Metalia and Usagi's choice to attack Tuxedo Kamen and to stab herself and waking up, and it is really, really intense. I love the music that they've been using for Crystal, and I think that adds so much to these scenes. And I love how the Senshi seem more important in Crystal, like they've been giving them more to do. They haven't just kind of been accessories to back up Sailor Moon. They've been warriors in their own right. I love how they're doing that, and I think that was made clear in these episodes. And I think it's very emotionally intense. And for the most part, aside from my problems with the generals, I think the final episode for this arc is going to be amazing.
Yeah, and that will be in Act 14, which will collide with Season 2.
Yes. I don't know, is it actually a different season, or is it just
A
the beginning of the
preview.
second arc?
I don't know.
I think it's just the beginning of the second arc.
Well, speaking on season 2, we're going to have a break now. Then when we come back, we will be talking about the second season 2 trailer.
Yep.
So keep back, relax, and listen to the full theme song for Sailor Moon Stars.
Enjoy. We'll see you guys soon.
悲しみが今セーラスマイル奇跡を起こすのセーラウィーク誰だって輝く星を持つ負けない明日へセーラへ絶対捕まえるセーラスターこの誓い届け銀河まであなたが消えたその時から探し続ける旅が始まった黄ばんだ地図にはステンシルの天使の絵指さす先はダークなコロセームが待ってる震える胸にはあの日の秘密のキスどんなに辛い定めでも追い続けるから後悔はしないセーラ愛あなたについてくセーラウィーこの歌は星の道しるべ負けない明日へセーラへ絶対見つけるよセーラスター天使の羽で飛び立つの一人で走る見知らぬ道やっとたどり着いたこの砦にプラスコロソとあなたが残していた試練の星のひとかけらザ呪文を唱えようこれは二人のミラクルな定め過去も未来も飛び越えて追いついてみせる苦しさが今セーラアイス奇跡を起こすのセーラウィー誰だって運命の星を持つ負けない明日へセーラへ絶対捕まえるセーラスターこの誓い届け銀河まで後悔はしないセーラアイスあなたについてくセーラウィーこの歌は星の道しるべ負けない明日へセーラへ絶対見つけるよセーラスター天使の羽で飛び立つの
And welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. We hope you enjoyed the Sailor Stars opening.
So, back to the subject of season 2.
Yes, the episode for January 17 will not only be the conclusion of the Dark Kingdom arc, but it will be the beginning of the Black Moon arc. As of when this podcast is going out, that episode will have already aired, so everyone will have seen it, but all we have to go on right now is the trailer, because it hasn't actually shown the episode yet for us.
So on the end slate of the preview, it said about conclusion and a bit of French.
Yeah, the episode, or the title of the next episode, is Conclusion and Commencement, Petit Étranger, or Petit Étrange, which I'm probably butchering. But, yes, it is French, and it means a small stranger.
So this means we have Chibiusa, which is...
Who I really hope is going to be more like her manga self and not like her anime self.
Yeah. I didn't really like the early anime version.
Nope, me neither. I found her pretty obnoxious most of the time.
And pretty annoying too. And loves to use her Luna P ball every single time. Which is also going to be in Crystal.
Yep. We saw a glimpse of Luna P as well. I always like Luna P more than Chibiusa, so I'm glad to see that. But so far in the trailer, we have seen that she has her same entrance of interrupting Usagi and Mamoru's kiss and pulling a gun on Usagi.
Yes, the gun. The same gun that was not in the classic.
Nope.
I can't remember what she pulled instead. Can you?
Me neither, now that I think about it. I honestly can't remember. I knew at the time, which is why I didn't bother writing it down, but now I can't remember. Well, we'll put a note in. Sorry guys, we fail.
But yeah, it was like, what I understand is like, this is a guess. I haven't found a subbed trailer yet at this point. But what I understand, Chibiusa is like, okay, I know you have the crystal. Yeah, and I want it now, so hurry up. Haiku.
That's what she always says in the past versions.
Yeah. Haiku means hurry in Japanese. So it's like, hurry up, or so hurry.
Haiku means quickly, do it now. And we see everyone's new transformation sticks.
And it's the same stick all around. Different color.
Venus no longer has her pen.
Yeah, because in episode 13, when she gave up her life force, she also gave up her individual pen.
They all lost their transformation pens. So they're getting new ones, but they're all the same this time.
And it also showed a red moon.
Yeah, it showed the destruction of the Moon Kingdom again, which anyone who is familiar with the Black Moon arc would know why.
I've never seen the Black Moon, or should I say the Red Moon, like that before.
Yeah, I think general destruction of a Moon Kingdom, be it the past or Neo Tokyo, that's what the Black Moon is all about. So we'll have to see what exactly that is, but I'm betting that has to do with the Black Moon clan's destruction of Neo Crystal Tokyo in the future.
There is a scene of Usagi and Chibiusa was talking to each other and all that kind of stuff. And when she ran out, Luna noticed the exact same crystal that was requested earlier from Usagi to her dad. That this is what I think. This is not a theory. or consumption, but I think that kind of necklace carries through to Neo Crystal Tokyo because it's the exact same shape of the crystal, and it's on a necklace.
Right.
So it's probably telling the viewer so far that we all know that Chibiusa is looking for the crystal. And she doesn't know that she had it on her the whole time.
Yeah.
That is a really clever way, not only showing the key that she was given, but also the fact that she had the crystal all along, which also made Luna gasp.
Yes. And in the original anime, she only had the key. She did not carry the crystal around with her. She only had the key on that necklace.
And also in that anime, she was like pestering Usagi every single time for it.
She was relentless for that crystal.
Yeah. I actually wonder if they're gonna go back to acknowledge the classic anime, or they are going to scrap that completely and do a fresh take of her stalking Usagi.
I hope they don't do it like the first anime, because like I said, in the first anime, I generally did not have very much. Even she had her moments where you saw that she was, just a vulnerable and scared little kid, and she put up this tough front because she was so worried about doing what she had to do. But even still, I had very little sympathy for Chibiusa because she just annoyed me so much.
And here's hope she doesn't be in Usagi's bath if there is Usagi in the bath scene, like in the classic. That was just complete craziness, and also, I don't know if one can class it as being a young perv, just put it out there, or being annoying.
Yeah.
But
I think it's because in Japanese culture, like, taking baths with little kids isn't really, like, little kid nudity in general isn't really worried about, because they're kids, they're naked sometimes. It isn't sexualized.
Yeah.
It's just, you're taking a bath with a kid to help them get clean. Especially if it's, your kid, like your little sister or your son or daughter.
But the thing is, though, that Usagi didn't know that Chibiusa was in the bath.
Yeah. Well, the whole point of that was so she could get the jump on her and try to get the crystal off of her.
But
alright. Also, in the trailer, my personal favorite part of the trailer, it shows Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus, Tuxedo Common, and the cats in the time portal approaching the time door. And we see Sailor Pluto.
Yes!
Yay!
They are not picking her out. I don't know.
I did not think that they would. I thought if they got to this arc, there was no way they could just ditch Pluto, because she's so central to the whole thing.
I don't know if she's going to be placed with the other Senshi, like in the classic anime and the manga, or they're going to have her separately, like being the first, not like a dwarf kind of Senshi, but one of the first ones, like outside of our solar system, but the first planet you can see before going beyond the solar system.
Yeah. All of my theories so far are that because they have stuck so closely to the manga right now, basically I'm going to assume that overall they're going to do what they did in the manga with her. So I think she's an outer senshi. I don't think they're going to downplay her role.
And can you guys remember about the quiz last time? That I asked Katie about where exactly something like exactly where her house was?
We saw it.
Exactly. Because like I said in the fun fact, that's the first one that you ever see out of the three sacred treasures.
Yeah, before they even become a plot point for us to know about. In the arc before, the arc where they become become relevant, we see the first of the treasures.
Which, if the next season is the Pharaoh 90 and then later on the moon, not the moon, the circus,
Yeah.
it would be a bit more useful. Because the talisman is part of the staff and Sailor Pluto uses the staff for her attacks.
That's another reason why I think if they do go on to do the third arc, I think Pluto's role is going to be basically the same as it has been, because they can't just remove her because she has a talisman. They kind of need her.
But I am so happy that Pluto's back.
Yes, Pluto is a very, very close third to Jupiter in my hierarchy of Sailor Scouts. Sailor Mars is on top, then Sailor Jupiter, and just right behind Sailor Jupiter is Sailor Pluto. So I'm thrilled to see her.
Did you notice that this is comparing the early anime and Crystal, that her earrings are much more larger?
Yeah, because I think in the manga they were really big. Oh, they weren't?
I can't remember, but I know in the early anime it was big, but not that big that covered the bottom half of her ear.
Yeah. I think they were pretty big in the manga because Naoko Takeuchi drew a lot of inspiration even for the Senshi Fuku from high fashion, like, Alexander McQueen and Dolce & Gabbana, stuff like that. So I think big statement earrings like that were part of her fashion influence. And in the anime, they had to kind of change it up to make it easier to animate, but this time around they're bringing them back. And
did you notice that she's the second Senshi in Crystal to have a belt?
Yeah, and she's also the second Senshi in Crystal to not have those little round cups on her sleeves. She has a sleeveless fuku like Sailor Mercury.
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Fail.
That's in the original anime. They gave Mercury those cups so that she matched all of the other Senshi, but in the manga she didn't have them. Hers were sleeveless. But even in the anime, Pluto has always had a sleeveless fuku. They never gave her those cups.
After the time door, it shows the white crystal, as we know, as that's where Neo Queen Serenity sleeps. Then there is a small black crystal that was shown. Is that a nod towards Prince Diamond?
I'm pretty sure that's Diamond's crystal.
Mm.
Where Wise Man and his Dark Lady creepiness happens. But, and that is actually pretty much the only glimpse of the actual Dark Moon or Black Moon clan that we see. We don't actually see, like, the sisters or Rubius or Diamond or Esmeralda. We don't see anyone from the clan. We just see that big black crystal pillar tower monolith thing.
You don't even see the enemies.
Nope. We don't see a thing, just that crystal.
So, as you know in the trailer, they are not bringing in the Doom Tree. So that means in this part, they're gone straight back to the original. And this is where officially Yusaki gets the new brooch, as well as the Senshi's getting the new sticks, and also a new wand.
Yes. This one is my favorite wand. The Cutie Moon Rod, I believe.
I think so.
Or Cutie Heart Wand.
We'll put a note down below to confirm because...
Once again, I knew the name when I didn't need it, and now that I'm trying to remember it, it's gone. But it's my favorite. I had a toy of it when I was younger, along with the Crescent Moon Wand.
I always wanted the Crescent Moon Wand. I always wanted it.
It was cool. But,
speaking of which, remember last podcast I told you that for the rest of the first arc, Sera Myu won't have a tiara until season 2?
Right.
Well, the tiara's back, baby.
Yes, she has it. I mean, I don't think she ever uses her tiara attack again, but she still has it, just because it's pretty.
And basically, near the end of the trailer, you'll see the promo picture again, but without the without the logo.
And you see Chibiusa in her Chibi Moon form,
which probably goes back to that in the second arc. That's when she gets to Fuku or activate her own powers, unlike the classic that you don't know until she returns from the future.
Yeah.
And I think that is from was it Fahrenheit or whatever from that arc?
I'm pretty sure. Because that was the arc with like Kaoli Knight and all that, wasn't it?
I think so. Because I remember that there was Mistress 9.
Yeah.
In that arc.
Season 4 is Nihilina, and then season 5 is Cosmos and Galaxia. So yeah, that Pharaoh 9 and all that, that's season 3, or arc 3.
Yeah. But, of course, if you read the manga, she receives or activates her power. And, well, I don't want to spoil it, really spoil it for you, but read the manga of the second arc at the end, and you'll find out why I'm trying to hold back.
Yeah.
But
lastly, in this new trailer, you see Sailor Moon's new transformation brooch.
Basically, our discussion of the season 2 trailer.
I'm excited, especially for Pluto. I love Pluto.
Yeah. If you've seen episode 14 and 15 by the time this has gone up, or you're halfway through both, or anything like that, one or the other, or when you listen to this podcast, put your impressions in the comments below. Make sure it actually say it properly. What you like, what you don't like, what was huge improvement, etc. And yes, we know that there's no Doomtree. It's going straight back to the original.
Which Doomtree was not my favorite, so I'm not terribly concerned that they're skipping it.
Yeah. Now we're going to take another break. And we are going to listen to a live action song, which is from Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. Not what it's labelled now, but around 2003-2004, there was a live action called Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, or PGSM.
That's why it kind of annoys me that now they call the manga PGSM, because now there's no real good way to differentiate between the title of the manga and the title of the live action.
That's why now they use the acronym than the full title. Just to sort it out. And this will be a topic that we will touch later. When I mean later, I mean later in season 1 of Moonie Thoughts. there is this character called Sailor Luna. Of course, it's Luna. That's in human form. Just only her main purpose was to take is like the kid version of Chibiusa, but in cat form. This is her theme song, Sweet Little Resistance. So kick back and enjoy, and we'll be right back.
We'll see you guys soon.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
I hope you enjoyed Sweet Little Resistance. And here's hoping that you did not get a craving for sweets.
Or that if you have some sweets handy.
Yeah. Now we are moving on to much of the podcast, which we are going to cover this time, plushies!
Yes!
And not any kind of plushie, official plushies! So no bootleg or copycat plushies around here.
Yes, these are the official licensed plushies.
And they look really high quality too. They put a lot of effort in it.
They come in two sides. First off, they're done in the style of the original anime. So the eye shape and the costumes, they're in the style of the original anime.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in, there's a normal size version and a chibi size version. The inner and outer senshis, which includes Chibi Moon, Tuxedo Kamen, Luna, and Artemis. And I actually have the chibi version of Sailor Mars. So I can vouch for the fact that they are high quality. They don't, there's no seams that are going to pop or anything. And at the end of the segment, I'll do a little review of the doll itself.
And when I was doing a bit of research on them, you can actually buy the inner senshis as a pack. I do not know if it's like the normal version or the chibi version, but
I believe it's the chibi version.
But you can get
it's the chibis.
There we go. But you can get them all 5 inner senshis.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I want that Luna plushie.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
We're going to have a link to the Moon Kitty shopping guide for these plushies in the comments. You guys should take a look because they're all really cute. And like I said, I have Sailor Mars sitting right here next to me. They're adorable.
Yep. Places you should keep an eye out online, which the shopping guide will have links for, is JBox or JList, depending what you prefer. Same site, but it depends which side you want to go on. Just be careful of that, okay? This is from
I believe, is it either JList or JBox includes some more adult-oriented.
JList, by memory.
Yeah. So if you kind of want to stay away from the more seedy side of anime products, stick with JBox.
Like I said, exact same site, but it's one of them is for more adults and one side is for general.
Yeah.
We recommend to go to the general side. Sorry that we didn't put this out way earlier when I noticed it. Well, remember it, sorry. So it's my personal apologies. Like I said, we're looking out for you guys. But as I said, that's one of the places you can look online for. There is Yes Asia. There is CD Japan and Amazon. So keep looking out for them.
I can say also, my Sailor Mars was given to me by my cousin, who is a fellow Moonie, and she got her at NakoCon. So if you're going to a con, vendors will definitely have these.
And when you go and see those kind of plushies at a convention, check if they are official. The last thing that you need is a knockoff.
As for my Sailor Mars in particular, they come with a big tag that's attached. You can remove it. They make it pretty easy to remove if you want, but I kept mine on. It's in Japanese, but it gives like a little character biography, like it gives their date or their birth date and their blood type and what school they go to, things like hobbies, favorite food, stuff like that. Like I said, the quality of the seams are really good. The quality of the fabric is good. The hair is really soft. The dress is kind of a satin material. The only thing is, on mine, the bow and the brooch are a little off-center, and because they're stitched on so tightly, I would not be able to remove it and put it back right without messing up the doll. And something that I'm sure was done on purpose, but it's just something to know. Their skirts are very, very short. Like, they pretty much end right at their butt. But they're designed to be posed sitting down, so it's not really a big deal. But they are very detailed. Sailor Mars has little earrings. They're not star-shaped, but she does have them. They do have the sleeves under their collars, even if you can't see them very well, but if you lift it up, they're there. And for the dolls with longer hair, like Sailor Mars, the way that it's sewn on, it's just sort of a cap that's sewn onto the top of her head. So she has like this little unintentional pocket behind her hair. So if you want to like hide money in your Sailor Mars, you could totally do that. And that is my impression of the Chibi Sailor Mars licensed plushie.
So that brings us to the end of this podcast. So again, thanks to Moon Kitty for letting us using your shopping guide, and it's a blessing to have you to come on board with leading us using your shopping guide. It makes it way easier to do our research.
And for giving our viewers a place where, if they're interested in what we're talking about, to look into how to buy, especially with this more recent merchandise.
And it's all official stuff too. No knockoffs, no bootlegs, no rip-offs, no nothing. Just the official stuff, the official merchandises. And they also cover other things as well, like these characters, these reviews, episode guide as well. So don't just stop at the shopping guide, go and explore the whole site. Also, thank you to Sailor Moon Wiki.
And to Wiki Moon.
And to you guys, the listeners.
Yes, thank you for listening with us through the first arc of Sailor Moon Crystal. We hope you guys have enjoyed both the podcast and the anime as much as we have enjoyed watching and recording for you. We really appreciate all of your support.
And we can't wait to dive into Act 2. Yes.
Sailor Pluto!
Yay! Talisman! So, on that note, we see you next month, which is going to be, again, on the 4th of March, which is the third in, the Northern Hemisphere. So 2 months with the exact same date.
February is strangely numbered. It does weird things.
Yeah, but other than that, again, Southern Hemisphere 4th of March, Northern 3rd of March.
Alright, everyone, have a happy Valentine's Day. May Sailor Venus give you good luck.
And protection.
Yes.
And we'll discuss more next podcast.
Alright, I'll see you guys later.
See ya!